Hello everyone, I am Chris Phillips, back again to do yet another video review. Today, we're taking a look at Wet, developed by Artificial Mind and Movement, published by Bethesda Software for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Wet works very hard to check the boxes of everything you would think a cool game would have. Slow motion? Check. Over-the-top violence? Check. Sexy badass female lead character? Check. And at the end of the day, all these parts do work very well in the game. However, in Wet, the game is not as good as the sum of its parts. In Wet, you play Ruby, a bounty hunter motivated by one thing: money. Throughout the story, you'll take on missions, be double-crossed, and meet new characters who are simply uninteresting compared to Ruby. In Wet, the story is just there. It never engages the player to continue playing the game, and it's uninteresting and sometimes confusing from scene to scene. The gameplay, on the other hand, is anything but confusing. Throughout the entire course of the game, you'll be doing one thing: taking out every enemy you see with as much style as you can. This fact is emphasized by Wet's slow motion feature, in that anytime you do something acrobatic while shooting, the game will go slow motion. While in slow motion, Ruby's a lot more effective at dealing out damage. She can shoot with both hands, one hand locking onto enemies and the other hand aiming freely. She'll shoot more rapidly, and she'll be better at launching a quick, devastating melee attack. Killing with style and combos will rack up multipliers and bonus points. These points are used to upgrade Ruby's weapons and moveset. However, some of the moves you can unlock seem like moves you should have had from the very beginning. Throughout the course of the game, it's going to be important to continue to upgrade your weapons, because as you continue throughout the game, the enemies in Wet will be able to take on more and more damage. This is pretty much the only way Wet curves the difficulty. The enemies don't get any smarter as you increase the difficulty level, they just take on more damage. In fact, the enemies are pretty dumb, at times only blindly running towards you with guns blazing. Sometimes you'll even find an occasional enemy just standing still, waiting for you to engage them before they will start to attack. At this point, you'll start to see some of the failings that Wet has, in that there's an extreme lack of variety in the gameplay. Essentially, you'll start attacking enemies down a long linear pathway on your way to an arena. The arenas are essentially large areas where enemies will spawn in through anywhere from 3 to 5 entrances. Your goal is to block the entrances by destroying red skulls. These arena pieces are dated at best, and they're something that you probably won't want to play anytime after the first 3 or 4 times. After the arena piece, you'll go back down to yet another linear hallway with a bunch of enemies. Then sometimes you'll have a quick time event, or sometimes you'll be thrown into a rage event, which is yet another linear path. However, this tweaks the scoring and visual style of the game. Wet gets old fast, and the gameplay does nothing to interest you past the first 3 hours. There's a really cool car chase scene in the first 2 hours of the game that's fun to watch but offers very little in actual gameplay. However, once you've seen that, you've pretty much seen the best Wet has to offer. Graphically, Wet is nothing special. The character animations are choppy, in some cases incomplete. The character models don't look anything special for a next-gen console, and the environments are pretty bland and the textures are very low res. The environments in large part were disappointing to me because there wasn't enough destructibility in them. There's a lot of gunplay going on, and I would like to have seen a lot of the decorative things such as tables, chairs, benches, and so on be destroyed in these gun battles. However, they just kind of stand still like they're made of titanium. However, one of the best parts of Wet's presentation is the gritty film look it goes for. This filter is applied to everything from gameplay to cutscenes, and is accentuated by the film starting to break up when you're about to die, and breaking up once you do die. However, if you do find this filter to be annoying or somewhat distracting, you can turn it off in the options. At the end of the day, Wet is a 6 to 10 hour game that will hold your interest for that long at most. The gameplay is fun, however it gets repetitive very quickly, and the brain-dead AI and uninteresting story won't do anything to hold you to the game as well. At a $60 price tag, it might not be a bad idea to leave Wet on the sidelines till it falls down to a little bit more reasonable price.
You are too fucking late, bitch!
Great.
For more blogs, reviews, and podcasts, please log on to shfts.com.